Mr. Helms.
I'd just like to commend the young ladies that reached the goal level in Girl Scouts, and we're really proud. I'd also like to thank those that came to speak tonight to express their concern and represent their school districts. That's all. Hope everyone has a good evening.
Commissioner Akins. Okay. Akins, sorry.
I wasn't sure whether you said Akins or not. All right. Well, first of all, I too want to congratulate the two young ladies on their awards with the Girl Scouts. Quite an honor. But I also want to say to the taxpayers of Union County tonight that I believe your Board of County Commissioners protected you from a tax and spend school board. Now, you may say the school board doesn't have authority to tax, and I say to you, thank heavens. I've had a few emails, and we heard tonight from folks who said, well, you need to raise taxes, and we'll applaud you for being so courageous. Well, friends, hold your applause. We've got to remember, we are in a tough economic time. This is a time of economic recovery. It is not a time to raise taxes. We got to remember, when everyone touts that the reason that people come to Union County is for the schools, well, I agree. We do have good schools, but we also adequately fund those schools, and we fund them with your tax dollars. There are factors that will require us to increase taxes in the near future. Let's not forget we've got a revaluation coming up. If after tonight's budget approval, the school board feels that they've not been adequately provided their needs, and I say you go do whatever you need to do. But if you can't responsibly and prudently, as the chairman likes to use, the chairman of the school board that is, likes to say, prudently operate with $2.2 million more than you had last year, then go on and take your next steps. To the employees who were concerned about the proposal to eliminate benefits if you had less than 10 years, I just want you to know that your commissioners heard you, your county manager heard you, and I hope that you are satisfied that you were protected tonight, because you are truly our greatest asset. To the department heads in this county who once again have seen their budgets held, or in some cases decreased, I say thank you. Thank you for being prudent with tax dollars, for operating at higher levels, although funding has in some cases decreased. County employees are the reasons, or one of the main reasons, in addition to the schools, that people move here, because they're dedicated, they're prudent, and they're responsible. I applaud every employee of this county for what they do. And my mother would be proud of this final statement that I'll make, because she was a teacher for 38 years. Teachers, I applaud you for continuing to work in an environment where your administration sees everything but you as a priority. Dr. Ellis said herself, graduation rates are not directly impacted by per pupil funding. Folks, graduation rates come from teachers, teachers who care, teachers who are committed, that spend their lives committed to their students. President Kennedy once said, a child miseducated is a child lost. It's because of the quality teachers and the dedicated teachers that we have in Union County that we don't have a bunch of lost kids running around. With that, I'll bid you all a good evening.
Mr. Thomas.
It's hard to follow that. I think Commissioner Akins has said it well. I also want to offer my congratulations to the young ladies who are here tonight with the Girl Scouts. It's quite a commendable task. I think that shows the moral threads and fiber of our community. I also want to make it very clear by the actions of this board over the last 2 months. As we've looked at solid waste fees at some of our convenience sites, we've looked at tonight the post-employment benefits once again, and even tonight, a last-minute effort on behalf of Commissioner Akins to try to meet the needs of the schools. I want to commend Manager Cotto and her staff for their flexibility. I think when we set out and we tasked the manager, and I'm speaking even prior to Commissioner Helms and Akins sitting on the board, to come up with a financial sustainable plan. We didn't realize, at least I didn't realize, how difficult it would be. And it's easy to cut, but then when you start looking at the impact that you have on some of the services and raising fees on some of our folks that utilize those services, I think we've come to a middle ground, and I appreciate your patience and your willingness to work with us. I told Chairman Simpson over the phone one time that this was all part of the process, and thank goodness we've got a flexible staff that's willing to work with us, because we're able then to meet the needs of our residents while trying to achieve that level of fiscal sustainability. So with that, I wish everyone a very good evening.
Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of brief comments. I just want to thank the manager and also Jeff for your hard work on the budget. The idea that government is using a zero-based or modified zero-based budgeting, and the process and how long it takes and the hours and hours and hours. The citizens of Union County, thank you for that, and it was shown tonight through the budget that was approved. In addition to that, the hours that went into the OPEB agreement, or the whole process with OPEB, and listening not only to staff, and I tell the staff that they have a manager and an administrative staff that watches after them and takes good care of them, and also they have a board that recognizes the hard work and the efforts that they put forth for the citizens of Union County, and to be able to come together and meet somewhere in the middle and still work toward that goal of sustainability is definitely admirable. In addition to that, I would be remiss if I didn't comment on the leadership of the chairman that we have on this board. Chairman Simpson, once again, this is my third budget working with him. He is, the effort that he puts in and the time and the dedication that he puts into this is not to be questioned. He works diligently. He makes sure everything is in line, and it's an admirable task that he takes very seriously and very personally. And so, citizens of Union County, I tell you, Chairman Simpson is working hard for you daily, and I'm honored to serve as his vice chair. Also, lastly, I'd like to congratulate the graduates of all the high schools in Union County. You're taking a step on to being an adult now, and I wish you well, either going into the workforce or vocational school, or even a four-year school, whatever your path is. I wish you much success, and with that, I wish everyone a good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those kind words. Well, just a couple of things. I too want to thank Manager Cotto for her leadership. The expertise that was brought to us by Jeff Yates, and the wisdom and experience of Wes Baker. Because he's been here and worked at it a long time. It would also be foolish to believe that we could complete such a huge undertaking, passing the budget, without the many hours of staff time in finance, along with the input from the various department heads in constructing that budget. This will bring to a close the third budget process for me as a commissioner. And though not without its challenges, closing a $3 million gap is a whole lot stressful than a $13 million gap. Trust me. Following my election in 2010, I believe it was the second meeting in December that year, that we as a board set some specific goals that we wanted to accomplish. And one in particular was to fast track the budget process to avoid the last minute uncertainties that had plagued previous budgets. Not only didn't we do that, but Ms. Cotto put into place a new calendar for the process, which begins much earlier in the fall, and I believe has been helpful. In an effort to fulfill one of our priorities, that of fiscal sustainability, we also worked to implement a number of steps that would move us in that direction. Probably the most important of those being this document right here, Analyzing the Past and Projecting the Future. And as I looked at that today, I thought about that. It says it's a 5-year financial projection with physical indicators and demand for services index. It's a comprehensive look at the money we take in and the money we spend out, and try to get every single bit of service for the citizens of this county that we can possibly squeeze out of that dollar. And it says analyzing the past. We just had again, another contentious budget process with the school board. It says analyzing the past and projecting the future. I don't think there's any question as we went through that huge expansion of growth that we got into a process where we probably spent too much money. But now it's time to project the future. Frank very eloquently stated how the economy has changed and the importance of us being good stewards. This plan, along with many of the action steps we have taken this year, the elimination of the swaps, setting aside cash for Health and Human Services facility, organizational streamlining, are all designed to provide our citizens with more efficient and effective government while improving our financial position by reducing debt and paying as we go. I think that's what this board has set out to do. I talked with Ms. Cotto today. I think by 2018, we're the second, I believe if I'm correct, the second highest, most indebted per capita county in the state of North Carolina. We owe a lot of money. By 2018, we'll reduce that by $110 million. Not quite 30%, but pretty close. And with this plan that we put in place, paying as we go, that capital that Frank talked about that we push forward into the school budget, hopefully will help meet their needs and at the same time help us work forward to be more efficient and effective government and more fiscally sustainable. So I appreciate all the hard work that you put in there. I appreciate all the long work sessions and the numerous work sessions that we had in building this budget, and I'm proud of the process. So I thank you all, and with that, I'll offer a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.